Welcome to Delray Field in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. It's Hudson Raider football on the River Channel. Chris Larson with Joel Eby alongside, and we've made the road trip to Chippewa Falls. And Joel, we talked about the stat of the year last week. The Hudson Raiders are undefeated with you in the stadium. They have not won a game with you not there. But seriously, the Hudson Raiders have not won a game on the road this season. This is looking for their first road win here tonight. They come in 4-2, but they're 0-2 on the road.
Yeah, and they've got an opponent that's they should on paper at least be able to take advantage of that and get a road win. I did get a chance to talk to Adam Calls after last week's game, and I kind of told him that it was my fault he lost those 2 road games, and he got a little chuckle out of that. But I'm here tonight, and hopefully Hudson can put another one in the win column and make one step closer to being playoff eligible.
The Raiders were able to even their record in the conference last week with a 30-9 victory over previously unbeaten Eau Claire Memorial. So the Raiders are 2-2 in conference. Chippewa Falls comes into this game 1-3 in conference. Their lone victory over the last place team, River Falls, a couple of weeks ago. Last week they went down to Carson Park and lost to Eau Claire North, who had not won a game in conference at that point. So this is a Chippewa Falls team that's a little bit down this year. But whenever we come over here to Delray Field, you can bet that we're going to get all of what they got.
Yeah, it's a tough place to play. It's definitely a good home crowd advantage. It's not quite as big a crowd as we've had in the past, but there's a well represented on a cold and windy October evening.
Winds blowing straight across the field, basically, and Chi High opens the game with an onside kick, maybe trying to catch the Raiders off guard, but Raiders right on top of that. Jake Niederhauser able to pull it down, and the Raiders will have some awesome starting field position here.
Yeah, and then that ball didn't even go 10 yards. Chippewa Falls won the toss. They elected to defer. Maybe they had that up their sleeve the whole time, knew what they were going to do, and we're going to try to pull a fast on the Raiders, but nothing doing, and Raiders ball in Chippewa Falls territory.
So John Ucatil and company will come onto the field 49 yards in front of them and looking to get that offense going once again. They put 30 points up on the board last week at home against Eau Claire Memorial. Did start out kind of sluggish, just 9 in the first half, but got it going in the second half. They'll start it off with Dayton Diemel up the middle, and Diemel still on his feet, going to pick up about 3 on first down. He'll set up a 2nd down and 7 for Hudson. But yeah, some wind. The wind's basically blowing from our backs right across the field to the Hudson side of the field. And as Joel alluded to, not a lot of folks in the stands over in the Chippewa side, just kind of a nasty, nasty evening. And this time they will go up the middle once again, and Chippewa Falls right on top of that handoff to Diemel, and nothing doing. Going to have a 3rd and long coming up.
It's again this, Hudson, the offensive line, and, they really came together last week. John Wilgren, one of their outstanding offensive linemen, is out again for this game, and it took them a little while to gel last week, and it looks like they're having that same kind of issues this week with not quite being able to take advantage of the much smaller Chippewa Falls defensive line.
Ucatil will go from the pistol, and they're going to fake the handoff, and Ucatil's going to keep it, and Ucatil's got the 1st down and more out across the 35-yard line. That'll be 1st down yardage, and the chains get moved. They faked the handoff to Diemel and Marvin, and Ucatil took it right up the middle.
That was really a slow developing play, and it, fortunately for Hudson, it worked and got him the 1st down.
Kind of a wet field. It's been raining practically all day and rained quite a bit yesterday as well. And they will go around the outside, ball on the ground. And
no, I don't know. That is going to be probably brought back, but I don't believe you can fumble that forward. Well, they're going to say it's Hudson's ball at the fumbled it forward for a 6-yard gain.
Carranza will get credit for the run. It's going to end up being about a 5-6 yard run, so it's going to look good in the scorebook.
And you talked about that the wet field, and that's got to play on that wet ball too.
And this time they'll give it to Nick Holm, and Nick Holm's going to be just short of the 1st down. That temperature's hovering right around 45 degrees, and just kind of a drizzle right now. We've got the umbrella over the camera.
Well, they were forecasting some flurries for this evening. They said possibly you could have a 1/2 inch of snow on the ground by tomorrow morning, but hopefully that'll hold off till after the game is over.
3rd and short. John Ucatil tried to draw the Cardinals off sides. Did a great job of it last week against Eau Claire Memorial. They'll give it to Demo.
Demo wide open.
Got the first down
That's
and more.
a touchdown.
Demo on his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. 3rd down and 2. Pulls off a 31-yard touchdown run, and the Hudson Raiders just under 10 minutes to go here at 9:28 left in the first quarter. They've opened up already a 6-0 lead.
And Demo did a very nice job on that play. When he got through the into the second level, he made a nice cut back to the inside. He was kind of angling toward the far side of the field and then cut back and eluded a defender and got into the end zone.
John Ucatil set to hold for Christian Bell, the extra point. Kick is up, and I believe it is good. Yes, it is. So just over 2.5 minutes into the game, it's the Hudson Raiders 7, the Chippewa Falls Cardinals 0.
Well, as you know, you couldn't have played it any better, written it up any better than that. Hudson got the ball, pretty much all runs. Never really had a 3rd and long.
Key plays there had to have been the onside kick to give the Raiders the football at the 49-yard line, but then Ucatil with a big pickup on 3rd down and long on the run, and then, of course, Dayton Demo there, 31-yard touchdown run to cap it off.
I think this may be a game, too, where, you know, if Hudson can put up some numbers early and get ahead, this may be on a cold night like this with, you know, Chippewa Falls having a bit of a down year, really not any chance at making the playoffs. You know, this could be over early here.
Raiders are 2-2 in the conference, and they've got 3 games remaining. Got to get to 4-3 at least to make the postseason. So they need 2 out of the next 3 games to qualify, and I'm sure they'd really like to get 3 out of the next 3. And we're talking on the way over that really the Raiders are two plays away basically from being undefeated. I mean, you can also say you're a couple plays away from losing some of the games you won as well, but this football team, I think, is excited to get into this portion of their schedule and really show what they can do.
And that really just tells you where this program's come from when we're talking about a 7-2 season as being subpar.
Raider coverage team ready to go.
I don't think you'll see Hudson trying any onside kicks.
And Bell kicks it deep. It's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. And Chippewa Falls will start this possession at their own 20-yard line. So after the Raider defense really got pushed around against Rice Lake a couple weeks ago, last week really recovered, played a great game against an Eau Claire Memorial team that had put up a bunch of points. Raider defense held them to just 9 points last week and just 3 in the second half.
Yeah, the Raider defense, and it does look like I saw Xander Motu out there practicing at least. I don't know if I see him on the field now or not, but he was a little banged up, did not play last week, but he is suited up for sure this week. Oh, yeah, there he is.
Cardinals will start from the shotgun. They fire to the right side.
Oh.
Wide open receiver through the Raider defense, and they will take it down into Chippewa Falls, or down into Hudson Raider territory. This Chippewa Falls Cardinal team is really known for playing that wishbone offense, a lot of misdirection runs. They open the game from the shotgun, throw it into the flats, and it's about a 40-yard gain there on first down.
Well, that's been Hudson's Achilles heel all year, has been the pass defense, and uncharacteristic opening play for the Cards to come out here and start trying to throw the ball around, but maybe they figure that's their best chance of winning. And
they'll line up in the shotgun once again. Justin Check, junior quarterback,
Yeah,
going to roll through the coverage, and he's going to go down. Sacked there by Hudson Raiders' Ryan Ryder, number 44.
That's the issue with those deep routes when they're trying to run those guys that deep, is it does give your defensive line more time to get to the quarterback. And most teams so far this year have just been willing to just take those 5 to 7 yard pass plays, and hopefully turn it into a 15 or 20 yard play. And Chip will look at that case at least to be looking for something deep down the field.
Loss of 3 sets up second down and 13. No receivers. They go from the shotgun. They'll hand it off up the middle, and not much going there. That's going to be maybe a short loss, maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but that play just didn't look like it was going anywhere. They handed it off to Aaron Hool, and not much happening.
No, and I just think that's one thing with the way their offense, they play that wishbone type offense, and you got everybody so bunched up in the middle. It kind of plays into Hudson's defense. What they do best is stopping the run.
So 3rd down and 13, and you can pretty much guarantee if Chippewa Falls gets anything on this play, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Well, once again,
there's a little screen.
Oh,
Going to be incomplete through the hands of the receiver and through the hands of one Hudson defender, brings up a 4th down, and Chippewa Falls will send the punt team onto the field.
And that's a ball that really that should have been caught. Hit him right in the hands.
And here's a spot on the field. If you are going to run a fake punt, not a bad place to do it with the ball spotted at the 43-yard line. Chippewa Falls will kick it away. It's a line drive kick, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. It's going to be a really good punt for the Cardinals. The Raiders are going to start this drive on their own 9. They go from the 49 at Chippewa Falls to the 9 on this drive, 91 yards in front of them here coming up.
Well, you know what that means. Just more clock for them to burn up going down the field.
7:29 left in the first quarter.
Ideally, in my view tonight, what we like to see is a nice game with a lot of running plays.
Run that clock so we can get out of this cold.
Yes. I'm not used to this.
And they will hand it off up the middle, not much for Dayton Diemel. Gain of about 2 will set up 2nd down and 8 as the clock rolls. 7:18 to play in the first quarter. Hudson Raiders leading at 7-0 early on in this game at Chippewa Falls. Ucatil will go from the pistol once again. And he's going to keep it. Slips through another defender, and he's going to pick up about 3. It's going to set up 3rd down and looks to be about 4 yards coming up.
Well, this is a crucial spot for the Chippewa Falls defense. If they can get a stop here, they're going to get the ball back in good field position. This would be a good spot for Hudson to run something wide.
Ucatil will go under center, trying to draw the Cards off sides. And now they'll reset the offense. And they'll go to Carranza around the left side.
Ooh, I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he got it. And, you know, once again, the wide receiver on that side's got to make that block. That was the key block.
So 3 runs, went for 3 yards, 3 yards, and 3 yards, which equals 9 yards, and we're a yard short, and the punt team will come onto the field.
Yeah, now Chippewa Falls is going to get the ball back in great field position. Hudson's punt game has been hot and cold. Looks like they got Steven Trapiccio back there now to punt.
Trapiccio started the season as the punter, and then they went to Christian Bell, and Christian Bell had an awful game a few weeks ago, and now back to Trapiccio. High kick, and it will bounce out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to be around the, well, they're still moving forward. They're going to be around the 46-yard line.
Well, it's right about the spot where Chippewa Falls punted the ball from earlier.
The Raider defense will come back onto the field. Their backs in their own territory here. They'll go direct snap to the up back. That's Isaac Solberg, a junior. Solberg will pick up around 4. Jake Niederhauser on the tackle for the Raiders. And they'll run around the right side this time. Looks like another pretty nice gain there. This time it's Kyle Webb, senior running back, around the right side for around 3. We'll set up 3rd down and 3 for the Cardinals. And
did a little bit of a stutter step there, which kind of froze the linebacker on that side for Hudson. And
And they'll once
There's
again
a
go
first
around
down.
the right side with Webb, and Webb will have the first down this time. Been watching Chuck Reykjavik offenses for about 14 years now, and I've never seen them go from the shotgun exclusively like this before. It seems like they've always kind of been able to make their hay by that misdirection at the point of attack by your quarterback coming from under center, but this is definitely a new wrinkle from what we've seen from Chippewa Falls. They're going to throw deep down the center of the field.
Overthrew him. The receiver had a step on the defensive back, and ball was just way overthrown. Defender had actually slipped on the play, and that could have very, very easily been a touchdown for Chippewa Falls.
Second down and 10 coming up.
Chippewa Falls will keep everybody in tight this time.
They'll come to the left side this time, and the Raiders are all over that one. The Webb once again.
Tim there to make the stop.
You can see the wind there. Take a look at the flags. Pretty stiff breeze blowing across this field here in Chippewa Falls.
I got to believe with the breeze that's blowing and the fact that it's a slick field and the ball's probably getting pretty slick that it's going to not be too conducive to a passing game tonight.
They'll go empty backfield this time. Raiders blitz. They don't get there.
He didn't get the first down, but I got to believe they're going to go for it on fourth down.
Marcus Crumbaker makes the catch for a gain of around 8. 4th and 2 coming up for the Cardinals. The ball is spotted at around the 27-yard line. They're not going to be punting this one away. Raiders brought the blitz from the near side of the field and almost got there, but just didn't, and the ball was delivered fairly well. You consider the pressure. 4th down and 2. And
direct
they'll go
snap,
direct
and there's
snap.
the first down. You know, in that pass play, that's a play that so many teams have used against Hudson. They line up 3 receivers to one side of the field. They send 2 receivers deep, and then the 3rd receiver cuts out and does a little out pattern, and typically is wide open because he's getting covered by a linebacker. And
so the Cardinals convert the 4th and 2. Fresh set of downs now inside the 25-yard line at the 24. 2:09 left in the first quarter. The Hudson Raiders lead it 7-0 over Chippewa Falls, with the Cardinals threatening here on their second drive of the game. And they'll give it to Weber on the right side. And again, Webb basically, a little juke move, little stutter step, and the linebacker just froze up.
oh, and they got somebody's hurt. Is that Webb? I don't know.
No, it's not Webb. He's walking our way, but there's a Cardinal
it's Aaron
on the field.
Nez. So I thought it was number 27.
Raider defense gets a chance to sit down and have a little talk with the coaching staff. Last week in the Big Rivers Conference, it was Hudson 30, Eau Claire Memorial 9. At Carson Park in Eau Claire was Chippewa Falls 20, Eau Claire North 27. And in Menominee, it was the Rice Lake Warriors with a big victory, 13-12 over Menominee. And then up in Superior, the Spartans continue their great season with a 49-14 victory over River Falls.
You know, and this could be a season where we've seen something I don't know if we've ever seen, where Menominee might not make the playoffs.
They lose one more time, they are out. Now they do have, they play Eau Claire Memorial tonight, which will be a really big test for them at Carson Park. But after that, they kind of have a couple of games with the bottom dwellers in the conference. They should be able to, if they play their A game, get those wins. But if they lose one more time, they're out. And I've been covering the Big Rivers for Not a long time, but about 15 years, and I don't remember Menominee ever not making the playoffs.
And I got to believe if you know, tonight's the night. If they're gonna not gonna make it, tonight's the night. Memorial's is gonna have to be the team that's gonna beat them. And it looks like
Aaron Nez will come off the field, junior running back.
He's being helped off the field, so it was nothing too serious.
Saw a Cardinal player earlier tonight in crutches, so a rough season for Chi High.
Well, and so that, you know, that point of the season where you're going to have guys that are banged up, and you know, if you're a D1 school, you got to be able to say next man up. And
2nd and 7 from the 20. He'll fake the handoff, look to throw, and he's got his man. Webb catches it, making guys miss. He's down inside the 5 to around the market just inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal coming up for the Cardinals.
And you're seeing there that, you know, the Hudson linebackers have a very tough time covering these backs out of the backfield.
Market right at the 5. Once again, the Cards will go from the shotgun. They'll do direct snap and head up the middle. It's like they picked up maybe a yard or two there.
Well, they're going to give him 3 yards on that.
They'll give Solberg 2 on that run. Mark it at the 3-yard line.
Well, we need something good to happen here for the Rays. We need maybe a penalty or a turnover or some fumble.
2nd and goal from the 3.
Oh, there's a flag. We got movement.
Whistle's blowing, hanky's flying, and it looks like it's going to be against Chippewa Falls.
Well,
that will back it up to the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Make it a little easier.
Check will come over to get the play from Coach Chuck Regovic. Raiders had a couple of big stops last week with some turnovers. We could use one right here. Check. Looking to throw, throws it back across the field, nearly intercepted.
How can that not be offensive pass interference? Boy, and they had a receiver on the other side of the field wide open. Nobody covered him.
That is the last play of the first quarter. So at the end of 1, it's Hudson 7, Chippewa Falls 0. 3rd and goal from the 8 coming up here for the Cardinals.
They had Kyle Webb wide open on the far side of the field.
And Webb has really kind of been the main tool here for Chippewa Falls in this game. Little misdirection there, and the misdirection kind of cost themselves some points there. Other games in the Big Rivers tonight, we talked about Menominee at Eau Claire Memorial. Eau Claire North is on the road tonight at River Falls, and they open the field down there. This will be the first game on the new field, turf field, down in River Falls. I hear they don't have a parking lot yet. They're shuttling people in, but be the first game on the new field over there in River Falls tonight. And then Rice Lake, the big game in the Big Rivers tonight. Rice Lake, 2nd place in the conference at 3-1, on the road tonight at Superior, 4-0 in the conference.
And that's one thing that, you know, I've driven by that field at River Falls, and there is virtually no parking.
Bussing them in from the high school this evening. The football field on the campus of UW River Falls, the high school about a half a mile away. 3rd down and 8. And they'll kick it out to Webb around the right side. Webb slipping through, and I believe he's in there. He is. Touchdown for the Cardinals, and they'll have an opportunity to tie it up with a kick. That was a patient run by Webb. He allowed the blockers to set up, and then just slipped through the blockers and the arm tackles of the Hudson Raiders and got himself into the end zone for the first play of the second quarter.
I just don't know how to explain it. The difference in the Hudson defense this year than it's been in years past.
One of the hallmarks really of this Hudson Raider defense over the last 5 or 6 years has been really sound tackling.
No good. Doinks it off the upright.
John Strand bounces the extra point off the upright, and that will give the Raiders, allow them to hold on to a slim lead, 7-6, 11:53 to go. But yeah, the Raider defense really has made their hay in the last few years on just sound tackling, not allowing runners to get by them, and we just have not seen it this season.
No, there's been a lot of, that arm tackling and guys just being caught flat-footed and guys being caught out of position. You don't want to point fingers and everybody's trying as hard as they can, but, I guess sometimes your team's just not as good as other times. But, like we said, when you're talking about a 7-2 team being down potentially, potentially being 7-2, you got a lot of work left ahead of them to get there. But
seen a lot of excellence over the last few years, and this football team is still, I think, at the end of the year, going to be one of the best teams in the Big Rivers Conference. But
well, that bar has been steadily getting higher and higher every year. I think back, wasn't that many years ago, and they were just talking about winning enough games to be playoff eligible, and then it was we just got to beat Menominee. And
their low kick, Raiders pick it up at around the 25-yard line, and will be brought down around the 35. Trapiccio there fielding the football, and
they must not have a lot of confidence in their kick coverage team, because both kicks now they've done kind of little. First one was obviously an onside, but that was just trying to be a little pooch kick, and Hudson will have good starting field position once again.
Marking at the 36, 11:48 to play in the first half. Hudson holding a 7-6 lead over Chippewa Falls. And they will give it to Demo, and Demo's going to pick up around 3 yards on first down.
I think one thing I'm noticing with this Hudson offensive lines, I think as the game goes on, they tend to hold their blocks a little bit longer. And so as the game goes on, those 2- and 3-yard runs turn into 5- and 6-yard runs.
Ucatil set to throw, throwing it long down the middle, be intercepted. Looking for Weissemeyer, picked off by Bailey Decker.
That was an ill-advised throw by Ucatil. He's done such a good job with the ball so far this year in previous games, and that one threw into double coverage, and the receiver was turned around and tried to turn him back for the ball, and I don't know if he couldn't find it, but he turned the wrong way, and the ball went into the hands of the Chippewa Falls defender, and just like that, Chippewa Falls had the ball back on their own 30-yard line.
Raider offense opened the game with a 49-yard touchdown drive for 6 points on the south end zone, and since then a 3-and-out, and now 2 plays in the second play interception. And Chippewa will try it this time.
No, he's out of bounds.
But he's out of bounds. Nice catch by Marcus Crumbaker, but ran out of real estate there on the sideline.
Well, you know what? You do that enough times, you're going to connect with a few of them, and if you connect with enough of them, it's going to cause Hudson some problems and get you some points.
2nd and 10. Check looking to throw again.
Yes! There's an interception by Hudson.
And the Raiders will take that down to the 3-yard line. Dalton Marski picking it off, and the Hudson Raiders are in business. Marsky stepped right in front of that. They went for Webb, and he just went inside and took the ball away from the receiver.
Yeah, Marsky had inside coverage, and I think was it Webb never turned around until it was too late. And Marsky was right there and got the ball and almost made it into the end zone. Got down to the 5-yard line.
So the Hudson Raider offense will come out with very, very good starting field position at the 5-yard line. Ucatil will go under center. Send Braden Marvin in motion, and they're going to give it to no, that's Nick Holm. And Holm is into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. 5-yard touchdown dash around the left side. And the Hudson Raiders with 10:57 to go in the second quarter have opened their lead to 13-6.
That was that misdirection that Hudson's had some success with this year, and I think that's a recipe for success if they can maybe get Marvin on the edge and do some more of that misdirection inside.
Bell is set. Ucatil gets the snap down, and it is good. The Hudson Raiders take a 14-6 lead early on in the second quarter.
Well, 2 turnovers apiece, and I got to say Hudson got the better of that turnover exchange. That interception by Ucatil, that should end up being a pretty good play. Got the ball down to the 30-yard line. And
well, one thing is when you get intercepted, that far down the field, it's obviously you don't want to turn it over, but it almost serves as a punt. It's not the end of the world, but when you get intercepted in the flats like that,
yep,
the linebacker picks it off. There's usually not a whole lot of red shirts between him and the end zone. Drizzle kind of picking up out there. Hasn't turned into a rain yet, but.
No, we actually got a pretty good location here. We're kind of snuggled underneath the press box here on the west side of the field, and we're actually kind of out of the wind and
getting shelter from the press box. They don't let us inside. We're kind of like the dogs, you got to be outside. But
the redheaded stepchild kick us outside.
But we do have the shelter of the press box behind us, and umbrella covering the camera here. Christian Bell lining up the Raider coverage team.
Christian Bell's first kick went through the end zone. Her second kick went through the end zone. The first one, or was it both? Did both of them go through the end zone? Both of them went through the end zone.
Both were touchbacks. First one hit the ground at around the 5.
Kind of both were with the wind, what little bit there is with us.
This one,
uh-oh,
fielded at the 5, and now the Cardinals will swing it around.
No, I think we're going to have a block in the back.
John Cryer makes the tackle for the Raiders. We'll wait on the hanky, see what we've got.
And it was really an unnecessary block in the back, too, because it happened kind of behind the play. And we've definitely seen our share of those against Hudson, so it's good to see one go in their favor once in a while. So that'll move them all the way back to the 15, or just outside the 15-yard line.
We'll back up the Cardinals and give the Raiders pretty good defensive field position here.
Yeah, that negated a really nice return. I thought there was trouble when he reversed field and there was nobody on this side. I thought, oh, that could be trouble. If he could have gotten to the edge, there was a lot of real estate with no white jerseys.
And they will hand it off, and Webb's going to bounce it outside. He's pushed out of bounds. Junko over there pushes him out.
Little juke move, didn't do anything there. Reader kind of set him up, and
it'd be a loss of about 2 yards.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12.
Too many guys in the huddle, but we'll keep the flags in our pockets, I guess. 2nd and 12. Check. They throw it to the near side of the field. He's got his man and make a few guys miss. Going to be a first down.
And there again, what used to be a strength of the Raider defense. There's just too many yards after the catch.
Mewhorter pulled it in and then took it right up the middle of the field and turned a short gain into first down yardage. About a 15-yard gain on that play.
Fumble.
And ball is loose.
Hudson says they have it, but I think the
They
Chippewa
don't
Falls
look to be
player.
selling it too hard.
No,
though.
I think Chippewa Falls player fell on it, so it looks like it'll be a short gain.
Pool on the recovery.
Second and 9. High snap, check, pulls it down, throws it over to the far side of the field. Caught by Webb, and Webb's going to have the first down. Threw the first defender off of him and then faked out the next 3 to get himself an extra 5 yards.
And there again, missed tackle.
Down by Junko. First and 10, Cards at their own 41.
First and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 41-yard line. Check fires across the
Picked
middle.
off! There we go. Another interception by the Raiders.
And they do. It's a Raider pick.
Looked like he almost pinned that against his shoulder pad.
Check's pass intercepted by Christian Bell.
Christian Bell playing center field on that play. Able to pull it off the turf, and the Raider defense comes up with the second turnover of the night. And the Raider offense comes down to the field at the 38-yard line.
Look like he did catch that when he was laying in the prone position on this carpet. He kind of slipped a little bit, but I don't know who the intended receiver was, but didn't look like there was anybody around in a red jersey. Here's another opportunity for Hudson to get something going on offense.
They'll give it to Marvin around the right side. Marvin's going to be pulled down after a gain of about 2. First carry of the night for Braden Marvin. Comes with 9 minutes left in the second half. Or first half, I'm sorry. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Ucatil will go from under center. Gonna run the option. He kicks it out to Holm. And Holm makes some guys miss. Still on his feet.
Whoa.
Down to the 40-yard line.
Boy, I thought we were gonna have a block in the back there on the wide receiver, but I think he just kind of more of a pick play than anything else. Just kind of stood there, and when the defender turned into him, Chippewa Falls crowd doesn't like it.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line at Chippewa Falls. And they will give it to Demo.
There's Demo.
Demo slips through the tackle, still on his feet. Demo down to the 5-yard line. Dayton Demo kind of gave him what Aaron Webb's been giving him. Slipped through a tackle and a little shoulder fake on another guy to get himself an extra 20 on that run. It's first and goal for the Raiders at the 7-yard line.
And the offensive line did a great job of blocking on that. He had no contact till he got 5 yards down the field. So Marvin up the middle. He's going to get in. I think they're going to say he's down on the 1. Boy.
Gave it to Braden Marvin on the misdirection, and they'll mark down the football at about the 1-foot line.
That was a pretty quick whistle there because I think Marvin actually did fall into the end zone, but they'd already blown it dead.
And this time, I believe that's Dayton Demo into the end zone.
And that gives the Hudson faithful that travel down here a little something to cheer about.
Second touchdown of the night for Dayton Demo comes with 7:53 left in the first half, and the Raiders have a 20-6 lead. I would say that the Hudson portion of the crowd is about the same size as the Chippewa portion of the crowd tonight. A couple more people have kind of straggled in here as the game has gotten started.
Seems like they're definitely more vocal, it seems like.
And Bell kicks it through, and it's 21-6. Hudson over Chippewa Falls.
Yeah, the game is moving right along.
Plenty of action. Couple of turnovers for the Hudson Raider defense, one for Chippewa Falls. Some throwing, some running. Plenty of scoring.
You know, it's one thing I've never liked is when these teams and these, you look on the Chippewa Falls sidelines, all the kids has the warm-ups on. And I just think that if you're nice and snug, all bundled up in a jacket, you're not ready to play. This is football weather, and this is the kind of games that most people love to play in. A little chill in the air, maybe a flake or two. That's when you get popped or you pop somebody and it hurts. Teams always hurt a little more when it's cold.
So Christian Bell, who made the interception, getting the ball ready, and the coverage team set to kick this one off.
Christian Bell is kind of a new addition to the defensive backfield.
I think the Raiders are looking for some speed back there, and
they're looking for
got to get it from wherever you can get it from.
You know, that's it. I think, you know, they're trying to try some different combinations, and you know, you got to go with what works.
Line drive kick for Christian Bell, fielded at the 5-yard line. And this time the Raider defense swarming, pulled him down. It's going to be marked off inside the 20-yard line. Marked it around the 17, 18-yard line.
It was Reed Junko and Johnson on the tackle there. It was nice defensive coverage by the Raiders here.
Raiders put 21 points on the board in the second half last week against Eau Claire Memorial. You got 21 on the board so far this week in about a quarter and a half. And Check's going to keep it. He'll stroll through the defense, going to pick up a first down before the ankle tackle.
A nice pass rush there, and then when he eluded that pass rush, there was nobody on that side of the field, and nothing but a lot of real estate.
Gain of around 12 before Lucas Traynor tripped him up. Chippewa will spread it out here. Two receivers on the near side, one to the far side, and Check's going to run it again. This time, nothing doing. Going to be a pickup of around 2 yards there. Kind of sold it better on the last play as a pass. That time, I mean, it was pretty obvious what was going to happen there.
Maybe he's getting a little gun shy on airing it out. Throwing a couple of picks now, and Hudson's made scores on both of them, so.
2nd and 8 from the 32. Chippewa will spread it out again here. And Check will pull it back in and take off with it. The pick up around 5 or 6 is going to bring up a manageable 3rd down and 2 or 3 here. Call it 3rd and 3 coming up.
It looked like he had a receiver open coming across the middle. So he get a little better pressure on him there, and he decided to tuck the ball down and run and made a decent gain out of it.
Third down and 3. And
well, there's that inside misdirection.
And it looks like they're going to be tiptoes into the end zone for a touchdown.
They're going to mark him out at the 9-yard line.
Stepped out at the 8-yard line as he tiptoed down the sideline. Did the old direct snap that we've seen tonight quite a bit over to Solberg, and then Solberg handed it off, and it looked like the Raiders just were not prepared for that.
No, that's that misdirection, that inside misdirection that we've talked about. And there was nobody there, and the Raiders, it was in a foot race. Raiders fortunate to keep that one from going into the end zone.
First and goal from the 8-yard line, and they're going to give it to Webb, and Webb's going to pick up a yard or two. Dalton Marski with the tackle. Second goal from the 6 coming up. Clock at 5:15 and rolling. And Check this time will hand it off to Mewhorter, and he's going to pick up around 4. It's going to set up a third and goal from the 2-yard line, and Chippewa Falls will call a timeout.
And this is a crucial situation for Chippewa Falls. They've got to get some points here. They got to get a touchdown. This game was in jeopardy of getting away from them. If they can get a touchdown here, and I don't know if I would necessarily go for the 2-point conversion at this point, but get it within a 1-score game with the touchdown and just a conversion.
If it was me, I'd do some more of that misdirection because the Raiders appear to be like they haven't figured that one out yet.
Yeah, Raiders have had no answer for that, and I'm kind of surprised they've been pretty successful. They've been moving the ball well.
Yep.
The stops the Raiders come up with has been on turnovers.
So 4:50 remaining. Third down and goal from the 2-yard line for Chippewa Falls. The Hudson Raiders leading it 21-6. The Cardinals trying to get a score and get this game back to a 1-possession game. Check will go from the shotgun, and they're going to go direct snap to Solberg, and I think he's short.
I think he dropped the ball.
You're going to mark this at about the 1. They did the old direct snap to Solberg. Solberg went right into the center of the line, and the Raiders were able to hold. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line coming up, and Chippewa will once again call timeout here.
Well, no sense taking them into the half with you.
No, 4.5
like I said,
to
this
go.
is a point where you really need to come up with a touchdown here. And I know what I would call for me, but I'm up here.
The Raiders have been really susceptible to the quarterback keeper up the middle, but when you've got your quarterback lined up 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, I think you do it to Solberg once again, let him run it up the middle.
I don't know, with Hudson running a 3-man front like that, the linebacker on the edge and their linebackers that deep, I have no problem with doing a quarterback keeper on this.
The Cardinal offense.
Referees
breaking the huddle.
Trying to get them to come to the ball.
Fourth and goal from the 1-yard line. Big spot here for the Hudson Raider defense trying to hold on to a 15-point lead. And the Cardinals do run that keeper, and I don't think he got in. So they brought Check up under center for the first time tonight, and he just kind of.
Oh, and they gave him the touchdown. Well, that's a homer call there. How can you? Well.
So I
find it difficult to believe he didn't get in, but when you take that long to call it. That gives the opportunity, all kinds of opportunity underneath the pile to.
Yeah, who knows
get that.
what happened there, which is, again.
Oh no! What are they saying? They're over. What? Oh no! We may have a riot. We may have a riot.
So they talk about it, give them the touchdown, and then they talk more and decide it's not a touchdown.
And I don't think I've ever seen that happen before.
The Chippewa Falls faithful beside themselves, and honestly, if it would have happened to us, we'd be beside ourselves right now too.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
So
it was the official on this side, on the near side of the field, is the one that called that. Neither one would make a call.
Yep.
Ran all the way into the pile and then started digging around, and then finally called it a touchdown.
So the Raider offense will come onto the field. John Ucatil's feet will be in the end zone. They'll mark this at the 1 inch line, basically.
Maybe this is a good spot to get them to jump off sides. They're all pumped up trying to get a safety.
And the Raiders will get some room. Dayton Demo will bring it out to around the 14-yard line. That'll give the Raiders a fresh set of downs and some room to run their offense.
And there's a breathing room you need. Now, if nothing else on this drive, just get the ball out and punt it. It will be a successful drive.
John Ucatil will keep it, and he's going to be pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. Going to try to run the option with Braden Marvin and just kind of got blown up. Loss of 2 brings up 2nd down and 12.
Oh, now we got a flag.
Raiders moved, and then now they'll move back another 5 yards. He's 2nd and 17 now.
Well, I don't know what you can dial up for second and 17, but the Raiders are going the wrong way.
Now they're back to the 8-yard line. And they'll go around the right side of Marvin, and I think Marvin lost yardage on that one as well.
And that was a play there. Marvin tried cutting it up, I think, too soon. I think the play there, the opening was to take it even farther to the outside. Yeah, he lost another 3 yards here.
So you didn't have anything for 2nd and 17. What do you got for 3rd and 20, Joel?
So other than the first play where Demo ran it for 15 right up the middle, they've gone backwards.
And they're going to give it to Demo that time. Demo doesn't get much, but hopefully gets a little bit of breathing room for Trapicio, and the Raider punt team will come onto the field. Gave that one to Nick Holm.
Well, it is a successful.
You kept him out of the end zone, and with the clock rolling, 2:44. I think you just let this thing go all the way down to the end of the play clock and call a timeout.
Exactly what I do. I'd let it run down and then take your timeout and.
Burn as much clock as you can here. 2:24 left now. They'll snap it. It's a high
kick.
Short. They'll take a Raider bounce, and it's going to be marked at around the 38-yard line.
And I don't know if they're going to.
So 2:12 left in the first half. Chippewa Falls will have the ball at the 38-yard line, and the Raiders basically need to make some tackles here and keep them out of the end zone.
I believe that Chippewa Falls, they have any timeouts left? Maybe one? They burn all their timeouts.
They called 2 there.
Called 2.
Got 1 left.
Boy, you'd like to have them in your pocket right now.
Now they'll move it up to the 30-yard line. And it's going to be incomplete. Looking for number 32 there, Mewhorter. Doesn't get any yardage, but it does stop the clock at 2:07. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, Chippewa Falls with another opportunity at the end of the half to put some points on the board.
Check. Nearly intercepted.
There's
The Raiders will
flags.
get flagged. Through the hands of Sekulu, but he was all over the back of the receiver.
You know, be nice if they called it both ways.
Pass interference, Hudson.
So that will move the chains for Chippewa Falls.
So where was the ball? Was it on? It was right on the 30. So that
Brings up 1st and 10, try high. At the Hudson 15.
They're going to mark it at the 15-yard line. 2:03 to play here.
that's a big penalty there because it didn't take hardly any. They got 15 yards and took no time off the clock. There's that inside handoff.
Direct
Touch.
snap. And they're going to be down to the 2-yard line. Mewhorter with a big run of around 13 yards. That will set up Chippewa Falls with a 1st and goal from the 2. Raiders were able to keep them out of the end zone last time. See if they can do it here. 4 plays here for the Cards to get it into the end zone.
Yeah, I think I'd run that same play again.
Raiders lead it 21-6, but Chippewa Falls knocking on the door. And they go direct snap to Solberg, and
Boy, again, there's no signal.
indication yet. Looks to be close, but they're going to mark him short.
Now they say it's a touchdown. Wait a minute.
So they thought about it again, and they give Solberg the touchdown.
But that's the same thing again. The official on this side didn't call it. Then he runs in, makes the call. Nobody overruled him on that play.
So the touchdown cuts the lead to 21-12. And I have a feeling that Chippewa Falls is going to go for 2 here based upon the personnel in the game. And they will. So the Cards line up, go for 2 here. And Check looking to throw, surveys the defense,
got it.
and I believe they got it. They did. So with 1:30 left in the first half, the Cardinals get back to within 1 score at 21-14. The Raiders with a minute and a half left. If they can get some sort of kick return here, I believe they do have their full complement of timeouts.
Well, and there, that inability of the Raiders to move the ball, other than that one play in the shadow of their own goalposts. That's the type of thing we'd always seen in the past, where the Raiders would have been able to grind out, get a few yards here and there, at least get positive yards. There they went back 10 yards, and penalties just killed the Raiders.
Stratton will kick off. Braden Marvin and Nick Holm back deep for the Raiders.
Well, what kind of kickoff we're going to see here?
Well, they haven't really tried to kick anything deep in their 2 previous kickoffs. And again, a real short kick. Raiders able to field it at the 30-yard line, and they will move forward to around the 38-yard line. Trapiccio once again. Well, the 1:25 left. The Raiders will start this possession on their own 38-yard line. All 3 timeouts remaining.
And Chippewa Falls will get the ball to start the second half by deferring the opening kickoff. They'll end up with the ball to start the second half. So Hudson, it'd be nice if Hudson could make something happen here.
And they will give it to Diemel. Not much going there.
Diamond on the carry. Simon Martineau on the tackle.
Pickup of about a yard. Chippewa Falls will give him a yard all night long. Ucatil set to throw, going to let it fly, and some miscommunication there. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Stops the clock with 59.7 seconds to play here in the first half.
I would imagine that the Raiders will try to run it here and try to get that clock down as far as they can before they have to punt. No.
Ucatil set to throw. Little screen to Weissemeyer. He makes the guy miss, but he's going to be short of the first down. Pickup of around 4.
Oh, and Chippewa Falls will
calls a timeout.
They'll call their last timeout.
Short of the first down. Brings up 4th down. Hudson.
So Chippewa calls a timeout. 50 seconds to play here. That is their final timeout.
That's a good spot to use it. You know, you can make Raiders punt it with 50 seconds left. You get at least a chance for a couple of plays.
If the snap goes over the head, it preserves some clock for you to run some offense. So you got them, you might as well use them. Cardinals coming into this game tonight, 1-3 in the conference, 2-4 overall. So why not?
You got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
At this point, you're the spoiler in the conference. You're just trying to keep other teams out of the playoffs. And
Trapiccio and the Raider punt team on the field. Snap to the right. Trapiccio able to pull it down. It's going to be another high short kick. Going to bounce toward the sideline and will be
let it
down by the Raiders at around the 40-yard line.
That's dumb. Let the ref. You could have ticked off a couple more seconds.
So it'll be Cardinal football at their own 41-yard line. 39 seconds to play here before they head to the locker room for halftime.
This is a chance for Chippewa Falls to have a huge turn of events here. What looked like the Raiders were going to be able to go in with a 21-6 halftime lead. Now it turns an opportunity to have a tie ball game.
Check. Winding and firing. Going downfield through the hands of Sekulu, and it will fall incomplete.
That ball should have been picked. He threw that so high in the air. I can't believe there weren't any more Hudson players there in a position to make a play on that.
32 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10 for the Cards.
Oh, what do we got now? They're gonna call Raiders offsides.
So they'll get the Raiders for encroachment, and that will give Chippewa Falls 5 extra yards. Mark it at the 46 now. Check. Fires over into the flats. Dangerous pass. Niederhauser said he used the turf to catch it. The officials say it's a catch to Mayberry, and it'll set up a 1st and 10. Clock stops as they move the chains. 25 seconds, and now the clock starts. And Chippewa spikes it to stop the clock with 20.9 seconds.
That gives them a chance to regroup a little bit here and get the right play called. You know, they've had that receivers open down the field. You know, you're in a position where you've got to throw them deep if you want to get a score.
20.9 left in the half. And check, gonna wind up and throw.
Overthrew him.
Overthrew
him.
Incomplete. Aaron Webb got through the Raider defense, but the ball over the top of his head.
What's the number one rule in a situation like this? Don't let the receiver get behind you.
14.3 seconds remaining. 3rd and 10 coming up for Chippewa. And now they're in a spot, well, the clock stops to move the chains, so I guess it doesn't matter. You got the whole field to play with. No timeouts. And Check will throw it across the middle, going to be incomplete.
They're going to call that
4th and 10 coming up, but flag.
That'll give him 15 yards.
It'll be interference against the Raiders, and that will give Chippewa Falls some yardage and a fresh set of downs with 10 seconds to play.
They'll give him the ball at about the 30. Now he can, well, this is going to get interesting.
So they'll mark it at the 31-yard line. 10 seconds left in the half. Cardinals out of timeouts. And they'll throw it for Webb. It's going to be incomplete, and now that's pretty much going to leave him with one play here.
Yeah, you got to throw this one in the end zone.
Six seconds to go. You are going to get the hometown clock. I'm sure you get a quick stop of the clock if you do get a first down, but you're going to have to get up there. So I'm guessing this has got to be in the end zone, or we're heading to the locker room 21-14. Webb going to step into pressure. I think it was deflected. And it's going to be whistled dead with 1.8 left to go.
Flag.
So
we got a
one
flag.
more throw.
We got a flag. I think we're going to have a holding on the.
It's in the neighborhood where we usually see a hold. Yeah, and it is a hold. So that will back the Cardinals up 10 yards.
Now, will the clock start as soon as they, I don't know, it's an incomplete pass.
They will have 1.8.
They marked off the holding from the spot of the foul instead of marking off from the previous line of scrimmage because it happened behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll go from the 46-yard line, last play of the half, unless there's a penalty. And Check's going to wind up and throw it. It's going to be incomplete. And
where is he
we'll
throwing that
to?
to? Well, Hudson avoided what could have been a very disturbing end of the first half. You know, they looked like they were going to go in and, you know, bring it to a one-score game. Hudson made a good stop, got the ball back, couldn't do anything with it, gave the ball back to Chippewa. Chippewa ends up scoring and getting the ball back again and making it interesting. So
either way, the Raiders will head into the locker room with a lead, 21-14, but Chippewa Falls will get the ball back to start the second half. We'll be right back with second half action. Second half action about to get underway here at Doe-Ray Field, and the Hudson Raiders lead it on the road 21-14, but Chippewa Falls will open this half with the football. The Raider defense with some stops with turnovers, but really the Cardinals seem to kind of find their groove there at the end of that half offensively, and the clock was about the only thing that prevented them from scoring there. And what are the Raiders going to have to do here in the second half to preserve this win?
Well, that's, you know, the thing. We've talked about it all season, that, you know, the Raiders have, you know, been their own worst enemy in a lot of ways with mistakes and penalties. And I don't think they can count on getting the turnovers they got in the first half. They're going to have to come up with some defensive stops to win this ball game, and they're going to have to put a couple more touchdowns up on the board.
The rain has kind of picked up. I think we can officially call it rain now. I think it's shifted from drizzle to rain, so it's not going to be real comfortable. I think the temperature is probably dipping down into the low 40s now. I don't have a thermometer in front of me, but it certainly is cooler than it was when we pulled in here. And this may be one of those games that whoever can handle the elements out there may come out here with a win tonight.
Yeah, I think part of that handling the elements will be hanging on to the football. And if whichever team can manage 0 turnovers and imagine to run the ball a little bit, I think that team's going to come away with a win, because right now I would say it's anybody's ball game.
Raider kick coverage team ready to go. Line drive kick is going to go into the end zone, and that will be a touchback.
So all of Christian Bell's kicks that he's kicked to the south have gone into the end zone, and all the ones he's kicked to the north into the wind have been returned. Imagine that. It's more difficult to kick into the wind than it is with the wind.
The Raider coverage team has been pretty solid tonight. They gave up one return that ended up getting called back after a penalty, but I think on kickoffs tonight, Chippewa Falls has started inside their own 25 on each of those possessions. Check will line up from the shotgun, looking to throw. Now he's going to pull it down and run with it. Ball comes loose right into the hands of the Hudson
Hudson's
Raiders.
got it. Well, just like I said, it said they can't count on turnovers, and there they get one.
You know, those elements, they don't just affect our offense, they're going to affect Hudson or Chippewa Falls as well. And that was one of those deals where I think a helmet just hit that ball and it squirted out and right into the hands of about 5 white shirts.
That's too bad, too. I mean, Chippewa Falls did a nice job of blocking on that play.
So the Raider offense will come onto the field here at the Chippewa Falls 33-yard line with a beautiful opportunity to stretch a lead here. And they will give it to Diemel around the left side. Lots of room for Dayton Diemel. Diemel will take it inside the 20 down to around the 19-yard line. Be 1st and 10 coming up for Hudson.
Yeah, it looked like there was nobody on that end, on that side of the Chippewa Falls defense.
Ukitil will go under center once again. And like maybe some miscommunication there as Diemel basically plowed right into John Ukitil. It's going to be a loss of 1.
Yeah, I don't know what read option offense. It can work when it works really well, but when it's not working, it looks pretty ugly.
They'll give it to Holm this time around the left side, and Holm's going to have a nice gain, probably around 5 yards. Going to set up a manageable 3rd down situation for the Raiders.
So let me ask you this: with the wind at your back, if you don't get the 1st down here, do you send out the field goal unit?
I think that would be a really good question for Christian Bell, because I don't know what the footing is out there. We haven't really seen anyone slide around, but he does have the wind at his back. He's got a boot. I guess it depends on how far away you are from the 1st down.
Well, you're going to get to see a decision time here.
They went to the center of the field, and it looks like Christian Bell's coming in. So that answers that question. I think if you get that to maybe a 4th and 1, you go for it, but with 4th and 5, I think this is kind of a no-brainer. Christian Bell will come onto the field, and he's going to try to attempt, it looks like about a 32-yard field goal. Raiders with a 7-point lead, 21-14. If Bell can kick this through, it'll give the Raiders a 2-possession lead once again. Kick is up,
no good.
And it is no good.
Boy, you hate to lose those opportunities to put points on the board when you get a turnover like that in your opponent's territory, but Raider offense could get nothing going there and ends up with a missed field goal attempt. And again, it seems like they get like one good play in a series, and then it's like they're stymied. So we're kind of right back to where we started this half with Chippewa Falls having the ball on their own 20-yard line.
10:02 left in the third quarter, so we did run off a minute 58, but as Joel said, we're right back where we started. Check looking to throw, throws it over the middle and low through the hands of Crumbaker.
And again, I think the receiver was open. He just threw it at his feet. And
second and 10. Three receivers to the near side of the field. Check will take it around the right side, throw it down there. It's going to be completed. Hit Hooley, and be a gain of around 7 yards before Descharm knocked him out of bounds. Third down and around a long 3 coming up here.
well, and here once again, the chance for the Raider defense to get off the field on third down.
Third and 3, and they go direct snap and run that counter once again.
Got it.
They had first down.
They had him stop behind the line of scrimmage, and he got to the outside and got the first down. Missed tackles, missed tackles, missed tackles.
It's kind of been the bread and butter play for this Cardinal offense. Hand it off, or snap it to Solberg, and he hands it off to Mewhorter, and pick up around 5 yards will give the Cardinals a 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it out in the flats.
That same play. That same play. There's nobody out there covering him.
Completed the pass to Mewhorter, and then he picked up about 10 yards after the catch. Brings the football out to the 43. Fresh set of downs for the Cardinals. And that one's going to be incomplete. Looking for Webb. Second and 10 coming up for Chippewa Falls. Raiders leading by 7, 21-14.
It's be a good spot for a sack.
White jerseys, the gray pants and the pink socks. And Check finds an open
No, I'm going to say it was incomplete.
pool.
Call that incomplete.
Bryce Descharm knocks the ball out of there, and will bring up 3rd and 10.
And, you know, then when they line up 3 receivers to that side, there's only 2 defenders over there. That time the defender broke to cover the short receiver, and he ended up throwing it long, and the play should have been completed for a first down. The receiver just dropped the ball.
So here's another spot, 3rd and 10. For the Raider defense to come up. They have forced 3 turnovers this evening. 2 interceptions and a fumble. They've also stopped the Chi-High offense at the goal line. Chippewa runs the screen to Webb, and Webb's going to be just short of the first down marker. Let's see what the Cardinals do, and I'm going to guess they're going to go for it.
Well, they had success punting it last time and holding the Raiders, but I got to believe here at this short, I would have no problem with going for it here.
4th and 1, and it looks like the Cardinals are going to go for it. Check stays in the game. Fourth and 1 from the 48-yard line for Chippewa Falls. And they're going to hand it to Webb to the right side, and Webb will have the first down. But the way they're going to mark it, this might be close.
Might have been to the spot.
Raiders think they stopped him.
The official on the far side.
They're going to have to measure this. And really, by the way, where the football sits, I don't think they got it.
No, I don't think he's got it. They're short. They're short by a foot.
So for the second time tonight, the Hudson Raiders turn Chippewa Falls away on downs. And we talk about spots a lot, Joel. I would say the Raiders got the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Yeah, it's unusual for the Raiders to get the benefit of the calls on a opposing field. They usually don't get the calls at home, let alone on the road. But I think they benefited from a couple of calls here tonight.
It'll be 1st and 10 Hudson. John Ucatil in the offense back onto the field with 7:58 to play in the third quarter. Looking to extend a 21-14 lead. But the Cardinal defense has certainly turned it up a notch here over the last few drives. They're going to give it to Diemel around the left side. Diemel powering ahead, going to be a gain of around 8 yards there on first down.
That's the only area they've really had success running the ball tonight has been that Diemel off the left tackle. We haven't seen any of the wide stuff with Marvin or any of the misdirection with Marvin that worked so well last week.
2nd down and 2. And they'll give it to Holmes to the left side, and Holmes going to be stopped short.
Not much, really no gain there. Well, now there they gave the spot back because he looked like he had gotten to close to the 42, 43.
3rd and short. And they'll give it to Diemel, and
Diemel, I think second effort, I think he got it.
Again, was stopped short initially, but the second effort will give the Raiders a first down.
Again, the Chippewa Falls had good contact and had him stop short, but the second effort by Diemel got him down to the 42 and got him the first down.
7 minutes to play in the third quarter. 1st and 10 Raiders. Ucatil under pressure is going to throw it away. And he will be called for grounding. Braden Marvin was standing right there.
Braden Marvin was right there. I don't understand what the call is. There was a receiver there.
They will call him for grounding, and not only is it the yardage here, but it's a loss of down as well.
Well, I guess they don't consider Braden Marvin a receiver, and they're going to mark. Wait a minute now. It's a spot foul. Wow, I don't understand that.
They basically took the spot and backed it up another 10.
That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot plus loss of down. That's pretty punitive.
So 2nd down and 30 now for the Hudson Raider offense. Ucatil going to throw it down the sideline, and
and they don't call that interference. Oh my God, what a gift!
So,
there's a Chippewa Falls player down.
The defender basically climbed up Weissemayer's back, but you got 3rd down and 30 coming up as we have an injury timeout with the Cardinal player down on the field, right around midfield at the Chippewa Falls 37-yard line. Next week in the Big Rivers Conference, your Hudson Raiders will be hosting River Falls as they play for the Little Brown Jug. This Chippewa Falls team will take the road, head for Menominee, take on the Mustangs. Eau Claire Memorial 3-1, as is Rice Lake in the conference. Those two teams will play each other up in Rice Lake at Pug Lund Field, and Superior will head down to Carson Park to take on Eau Claire North. Let's go through those conference standings as we started tonight's action. It was Superior 4-0 in the conference, 5-1 overall. Rice Lake 3-1 in conference, 5-1 overall. Eau Claire Memorial 3-1 in conference, 4-2 overall. Hudson 2-2 in the conference, 4-2 overall. Menominee 1-3, Eau Claire North 1-3, Chippewa Falls 1-3, and River Falls 1-3 in the conference. All four of those 1-3 teams could be eliminated tonight with a loss, eliminated from playoff eligibility.
That was John Strand, who was the injured player for Chippewa. Comes off the field in his own power. So
Strand is the kicker for Chippewa Falls. So 3rd and 30, they pitch it out to Braden Marvin, and Marvin nowhere to go. The Raiders will send the punt team onto the field.
And nobody was fooled there, and that was that play that they had so much success with last year, the pitch to Marvin on the outside. And boy, that intentional grounding call just killed the Raiders' drive. That's such a, I mean, that cost them 30 yards, 20 yards.
Trapiccio set to punt.
Oh, terrible punt.
Will take a Raider bounce and is going to be down at around the 38, 39-yard line.
Well, the Hudson punting woes continue.
Well, the good news is when you kick it like that, you're generally not going to give up a return. And they have bounced the right way, at least for the Raiders. And the nets have not been as bad as the looks of it.
Well, the field position here in the third quarter has definitely been slanting now towards the Chippewa Falls favor. See if Hudson come up with a quick 3 and out here, come up with a turnover. And
Cardinals back on the field. They'll mark it at the 38. And they're going to hand it off to Webb, who cuts it back. And Jack Koski had a whole handful of his shirt, but couldn't pull him down, and Webb picks up around 8 yards. The Raiders have had a couple opportunities tonight to really put this Cardinal team away and just have not been able to capitalize, and now the Cardinals with the football at midfield. They can march it down here. We got a tie football game. Kick it out to Webb along the far side, and Webb will have the first down. Needed 2, got 3. 1st and 10 coming up for Chippewa Falls.
Yeah, that's going to be a first down. Well, I don't know what they said. They're stopping the. Oh, looked like they were going to measure, but it looked like it was pretty clear to me that he got the first down.
Rain, wind, and cold continue. And this is Mewhorter, and Mewhorter still on his feet and finally pulled down, but it'll be a first down for Chippewa Falls. And again, more arm tackling. You're just not going to be successful defensively tackling like that.
No, you know, and ever since the first quarter, I mean, Hudson's on both sides of the ball has played dreadful.
First and 10. They give them Mewhorter once again, and again, big holes. Going to take it down to around the 30-yard line. It's going to be a gain of around 6.
And they've found something that works here, and they're just attacking that right side of the Hudson defense.
Second down and a long 3. They'll give it to him again. And he's fighting through traffic. He's going to be pulled down just shy of the first down marker. Going to set up third down and short here for the Cardinals. 3:25 left to play in the third quarter. Clock rolling.
It's definitely 4-down territory. So even if they don't get it here, if Hudson could manage to stop, they're going to have to stop him twice.
3rd and 2.
And there's that short snap.
Solberg takes it. He's going to be close. It's going to depend on the spot, and it looks like he has it.
Yeah, they're going to give him the 25-yard line, and that'll be enough for the first down. So, well, here we go.
Fresh set of downs for Chippewa Falls. Respot the football. A little closer to the sideline. 1st and 10 from the 25. They'll give it to Mewhorter this time.
There we go.
Niederhauser pulls down Mewhorter for a loss. Be a loss of around 3. Jake Niederhauser just followed Mewhorter. As soon as he took the ball, he took him down.
Let's do that 3 more times.
2nd and 12. Cardinals spread it out now. 2 receivers on either side of the line. And they'll throw it to a wide open receiver who slips through the Raider defense before he's tackled by Christian Bell at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal coming up for the Cardinals. And they did just what you've been saying, Joel. They just ran one receiver deep. The other one stopped. Nobody's there to defend them, and it's an easy pitch and catch.
The team's been doing it on them all year. I mean, you'll see what works on film. You might as well try to duplicate it, and Chippewa Falls doing a great job of it tonight.
1st and goal from the 5. And they'll pitch it to Webb. The near side, Webb looking for the corner, and he's into the end zone. So the Chippewa Falls Cardinals 1 point away from tying the football game. And the Cardinals are on offense. Webb is the fastest guy in the field. Stratton was shaken up earlier. His only kick attempt tonight bounced off the upright. Let's see what he's got here.
Oh, bad kick, bad hold, and he missed it. So the Raiders hang on to the slimmest of margins. 1:12 left to go in the 3rd quarter. But, I mean, if the Raiders don't find some answers, this game is not going to be theirs.
Kendall Keegan couldn't get that snap down, and for the 2nd time tonight, Stratton is 0 for 2 on extra point attempts. The Cardinals did get a 2-point conversion to get to 14 on their last score, but the Raiders holding on to a 21-20 lead, and you can almost be sure Chippewa Falls is going to score again tonight. So you definitely need to get some points here in this drive.
I mean, really, the only thing that's stopped Chippewa Falls tonight has been the turnovers.
Raider defense has forced 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and a fumble, and they've also stopped Chippewa Falls at 2 4th-down conversions.
Yeah, Chippewa Falls, have they punted, once?
Yeah, I think so.
On their first drive, I think they punted.
So Stratton set to kick off, and he's basically kind of squibbed it every time he's kicked off. and does once again. Going to be fielded by Trapiccio once again. Trapiccio will bring it up to around the 38-yard line.
And the Raider offense really hasn't had a whole lot. They've been given a short field a couple of times where they managed to score.
Yeah.
The interception by Marski got him down inside the 5. They scored on that. The opening kickoff gave them the short field, the 49-yard field. That was the best drive they've had tonight.
1st and 10 for Hudson. They'll hand it off to Diemel. Diemel still on his feet. Gain of around 9 on 1st down. We'll set up a 2nd and short here for Hudson. Clock down under a minute to play now here in the 3rd quarter. And this time it's Nick Holm. And Holm will have the 1st down. Gain of around 6 for Nick Holm. That'll move the chains for the Raiders.
Well, it looks like the Chippewa's got another defensive player out there limping around. Looks like it's number 18, Kyle Zerbane, senior linebacker.
And they're going to run it up the middle once again. Believe that was Diemel on the carry. It's a gain of around 7 yards. They give to Nick Holm. He had the previous carry as well. Going to be close to a 1st down, but I think he's going to be just shy.
They're giving it to him. They're saying he got it.
They do give him the 1st down. And that will most likely be the last play of the 3rd quarter, and it will. So at the end of 3, it's the Hudson Raiders 21, Chippewa Falls 20. And the Raiders moving the ball here, but they definitely need to put the football into the end zone.
Well, maybe that's what they need to get their backs against the wall a little bit and have to make something happen, because this is by far the best they've run the ball, best drive they've had since that first opening drive when they scored the 1st touchdown.
It's kind of what they did last week. The offense really sputtered throughout the whole 1st half, and then it seemed like they got the engine going in the 3rd quarter and put up 3 straight touchdowns and put that game out of reach. But they were a little shaky in that 1st half last week against Eau Claire Memorial.
Yeah, the way they came out, it looked like, Hudson was going to take early control of this game and, maybe get out of here with an easy win. And it's been anything but that in the 2nd and 3rd quarters.
The Raiders will come out here 1st down and 10 to open the 4th quarter at the Chippewa Falls 35-yard line. They'll run Marvin in motion. They'll give Braden Marvin the football. Marvin's going to pick up around 5 on 1st down.
And that's been his best run of the night, I think.
I think that's how you got to get him the football here. Get him the football on a quick developing play. It seems like tonight when they've got him the ball, it's been more of a slow developing play, and Chippewa Falls defense has been all over it. And then give it to Holm, and Holm is going to lose about a half of a yard on that play. It's going to set up a 3rd down. Again, I think where we are in the field, if the Raiders get positive yardage here on 3rd down, they will definitely be going for it on 4th down.
I don't know, as you could tell, Johnny, has he completed the pass yet tonight?
Not sure if he has. 3rd and a long 5. They'll kick it out to Marvin on the right side. Marvin sliding through tackles. He's got the 1st down. Ball comes loose.
Oh, Hudson got fortunate there to fall on the ball.
The ball came loose as Marvin was being pulled down, and Weissemeyer was Johnny on the spot there to recover it.
Very fortunate for the Raiders. That wasn't a disaster. Marvin trying to struggle for extra yards, and one of the Chippewa Falls defenders stripped the ball and as he was going to the ground.
So the ball spotted at the 14-yard line. They'll give it to Diemel. Diemel through traffic, and he'll take it inside the 10 down to around the 8-yard line. Gain of around 6 there on first down. Mark it at the 9, call it a gain of 5. And they'll give it to Marvin again. Marvin's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Hudson.
That was the drive the Raiders needed right there. Much better job of blocking by the offensive line on that drive.
Raiders really stuck with some bread and butter. Didn't try to mess around. They just ran at him on that drive as well.
Well, and also no penalties, no mistakes.
Christian Bell will come on to kick this extra point, and he kicks it through.
Oh, they said he missed it. Boy, that sure looked like it went right through to me, but it must have been wide left.
I was just about to bring this up, Joel. I think this may play into the Hudson Raiders' hands. I was going to say maybe you go for 2. If you get it, you put yourself up by 9. If you don't get it, you're up by 7. You kind of make Chippewa Falls almost have to send their kicker onto the field to kick the extra point, and it's kind of been a circus for them kicking the extra point. If they go for 2, I like their game to go for 2 better than their kicker at this point. And I think if I'm Coach Chuck Rakovic, if I score a touchdown, I'm going for 2, because the kicker has not shown the ability to put it through tonight.
Yeah, that last one, I won't put that on the kicker. That was, I don't know if it was a bad snap or bad hold, but the hold just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Snap looked like it was inside, and he just couldn't get it down on the ground, and it was.
But, I mean, they don't even have the confidence in him to kick the ball deep, though. I mean, they're basically squib kicking every time.
I agree with you 100%. I would not be kicking extra points if I was Chippewa Falls. I mean, but now you're in the point where you've got if you don't kick it and you miss and you don't get the 2, then you lose. So
that's why I think I would have went for 2 on that play personally. Put some pressure on them. Either way, it's 27-20. Hudson Raiders, 10:15 remaining in the football game.
A lot of time left. The Raider defense is going to have to come up with a couple of stops here. So the rain has subsided somewhat. Very short kick.
Going to bounce at the 20. It's fielded there. The returner stepped out of bounds, and I think Chippewa Falls will take over at the 16-yard line.
Almost would have been better off if he wouldn't have touched it, because it probably would have gone out of bounds.
And that would have put the Cardinals out at the 40. Instead, they'll start here at the 16-yard line. The Raiders with pretty good defensive field position here.
See that Raider defense stand up here and show themselves. Get a 3 and out. Get the ball back in decent field position.
They've made some big plays tonight, but have given up quite a bit of yardage as well.
They've shown the ability to make the stops. Oh, they're going to call it on Hudson?
They do. Calling offsides on the Raiders once again. That's the second time tonight we've seen that.
I don't remember a game where Hudson had more defensive offsides than the other team did.
It's been a while. I don't even know if these guys are jumping off or if they're lined up in the neutral zone.
Well, I've noticed a couple of times when we've been, the line of scrimmage has been close to our being looked right now. There looks like Hudson is right on the line, so I think they're lining up in the neutral zone.
Check on 2nd and 5. As a receiver, it's Webb, and Webb will step out of bounds, but not until he gets the first down and moves that football out to around the 34-yard line.
Well, and just like that, the field position has changed.
1st and 10 from the 34. Clock stopped, 9:59 to play in a 1-possession football game. Hudson Raiders leading by 7. Check's going to pull it down, and he's under pressure.
There we go.
Taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Reeder was the first one there, followed up by Koski.
Holden Tim also
Holden
in there.
Tim was there, so
Koski and Ryder.
It's going to be a
That
loss.
that was a play that a lot of times where he's been able to elude that first rusher and able to pick up a nice gain. And that time there was just too many white jerseys there for him to get away from.
A loss of 6. Second down and 16 now from the 28. 2 receivers on both sides. And Webb in the backfield for Czech. Czech
Down
under
again.
pressure. Pulled down by a host of white jerseys.
There's that Raider pass rush we've been looking for all season.
Reeder in there, as well as Jack Koski.
Loss on the play.
That's a big loss. Niederhauser in there as well. Third down and 24 now after the loss of 8 yards on that sack. Now this is a spot where you must get off the field. You can't give up 3rd and 24.
Let's see what kind of play they come up with here.
Check.
Incomplete pass. Tried to set up a center screen. The Raider defensive line sniffed it out, felt the pressure release or the blocking release, and started to back off into the lanes, and that play was doomed to failure. So there we go. That's what we wanted to see.
Big stop there by the Raider defense and some pressure on that quarterback.
Give Chippewa Falls a little taste of their own medicine going backwards for a change. Over his head! Safety! Oh!
That was a big 2 points.
Wow.
So that gives the Raiders a 2-possession lead with that 2 points going to the back of the end zone, and the Raiders will also get the football. So that's basically as good as a field goal right there. Difference between 7 and 9 is astronomical.
You know, we've talked about it so many times, is that center position, how crucial it is to have a center that can, especially when, as much as they run out of the shotgun, that long snapper for the punts and the extra points, and to have that center that can get the ball back to the quarter on a consistent basis. And right there, you see it. Simply hiked it over his head, and safety, 2 points for the Raiders, and they get the ball.
29-20 now. Hudson leads it and gives the Raiders a little breathing room to work with here on offense, but I think Coach Cowles and company would like to see another 7 go up on the board before they can start to relax.
And that's a situation here. If you can manage to get a touchdown here, realistically, I think that's, you're not going to say it's over, because we saw what Chippewa Falls did at the end of the first half, but you're really going to put some pressure on that Chippewa offense to make some things happen.
So it looks like Chippewa Falls is going to go with the free kick here. So they're going to punt this away. Raider returners Nick Holm and Braden Marvin standing around their own 30.
Nice kick.
It's going to be fielded by Holm at the 28. Holm slides through the coverage, still on his feet, brings it out to the 48-49 yard line.
There's a flag. What are we going to have? He threw that. So that was thrown way away from the play.
I'm guessing that's going to be extracurricular by the way the official threw that flag. They're pointing towards the Hudson Raiders, though.
I don't know who it's going to go against, but
it's going to
dead
back
ball,
Hudson up.
Personal foul on Hudson.
So you get yourself into position really to put the football game away, and that was just an unnecessary roughness type of penalty. And
I know Cowles will not be happy with that.
So
now, how do they mark that off for the 30? Because it's it's a 15 yards from the end of the play. So.
Yeah, they're at the 49. Now they're going to be go all the way back to the 36, and
that is just.
Whoever did that is going to get some extra laps to run on Monday.
That's, like you said, it's so unnecessary because it's so far away from the play. Where they threw that flag was thrown 10 yards away from the play. And we were just talking about Hudson finally had a drive where they didn't shoot themselves in the foot. They had a good defensive stand where they
and a nice return.
Forced Chippewa to make some mistakes. Had a nice return.
Demo loses the football, and Chippewa
Falls
has
like
it.
that. The mistake you can't make. 2 back-to-back crucial errors by the Raiders. Gives Chippewa the ball in great field position.
So the Raider defense will come back onto the field now. They lead by 9, 8:14 to play here at Doré Field in Chippewa Falls. 29-20 Hudson, but Chippewa Falls with an opportunity here to get this game closer. Will start the drive at their 37-yard line of Hudson.
There's a pass, flea flicker.
They're going to throw it downfield.
Pick. Oh!
Nearly intercepted by the Raiders.
That was up for grabs. That should have been picked.
Bailey Decker threw it downfield, and it was, as you said, Joel, a lot of opportunity for an interception there. Second and 10. And they'll throw it across the middle. Looking for Crumbaker, and was nearly picked off and nearly caught, but it will bounce incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up with 8:02 left to play.
I'm really surprised at how much, well, I shouldn't say, I am surprised at how much Chippewa Falls is throwing the ball. I thought coming into this game this would probably be the team that we would see throw the ball the least, but after, I guess if you watch the film on Hudson, that's the way to beat them.
Did have a man wide open on the far side of the field there, but threw it across the middle. This time we'll hit Webb. Nice tackle by Niederhauser.
There's that sure tackling.
A loss of about a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down and 11, and that's the kind of tackling we're used to seeing right there.
Well, the good thing about this, if you're from the Chippewa Falls point of view, is you're going to give the Raiders the ball back deep in their own territory.
Chippewa Falls will send the punt team onto the field.
Hudson's got nobody back to return the punt.
Raiders bring everybody up, and they will fake it. And it's not going to do it. Went with Bailey Decker on the direct snap, and
I think that might
the
have been
Raiders kind of sniffed that one out.
I think that was a situation where the Raiders thought they might try something, and the Raiders have none of it. They'd have nobody back to return the punt. Kept all 11 defenders up. Got another Chippewa Falls player hobbling off the field. That's number 23, Bailey Decker, senior defensive back. Comes off the field under his own power.
Decker was the one who threw the flea flicker pass and also tried to run that ball. And so the Raider offense back onto the field now. Start at the 36. Ucatil will go under center. And they will give
There's
Marvin out of the eye, and Marvin's going to pick up around 7 yards on 1st down. And he is
he's
someone
hurt.
slow to get up. It's not Braden Marvin.
It's Mara, the center. Oh, we just talked about how crucial that center position is, and if he can't go, they're going to have to at least bring in a center for one play, backup center.
And that's one of those things, Joel, that we have seen a lot of teams against us have some troubles with the snaps, and that's one thing the Raiders have not had this year. They've had some really good work out of the center position this season.
And it looks like they're working on something that looks like upper body, but unsure exactly what the injury is. But if I was, you could tell, yeah, he's over there I'd be trying to get some snaps with the second string center.
Second down and 3 coming up for the Raiders. Left on the Hudson Raiders schedule, next week they host River Falls, and they will wrap up the regular season on the road at Carson Park against the Eau Claire North Huskies.
Well, they got him up, and he's coming off under his own power, which is good. Hopefully he'll be able to return, because that is a crucial position on the offensive line.
Grant Mara comes off the field and going to take a seat over there for a moment. They'll hand it off up the middle once again. I believe that is Diemel.
They're going to say it's a first down.
That will move the chains for the Raiders.
You know, I think this is the time, if you're the Raiders, I'm all for this hurry-up offense, but right now I think you slow it down. Get up to the line quick, but now you can tell should take his time. Be in no hurry to snap the ball.
Clock rolling, 6:50 to play in the game. The Hudson Raiders lead it by 9, 29-20. They'll give it to Marvin, and Marvin is going to be stopped after a gain of around 3 right at the midfield stripe.
They can realistically take this clock down under 6 minutes. Oh, we have another injury, or just untangling the pile?
Cardinal player.
Well, we got another injury.
Troubles.
Oh, now he gets up.
Says he's good, but he doesn't look real good.
I don't understand that.
Going to stay on the field, and now the officials are going to blow it dead. Let's see. Wanted to get the football respotted. 6 minutes to play. And Yucatil slides away from one defender, but he's going to be pulled down for a loss of about a yard. One thing I've seen these last few drives, Joel, the Raiders need to just bring those running backs right to the point of attack. When they're going backwards before they get the play set up and get going, they're losing yardage.
Well, you know, they came into this game down one offensive line, one of their starting offensive linemen from the beginning of the season. Now you're down 2 starting offensive linemen. You got to change things a little bit, make it as easy as you can on your offensive line.
3rd and 9. Raiders setting up a screen.
Go to Marvin.
Marvin slides.
Still going. He's got the first down.
Yardage. Braden Marvin needed 9. He got 11. First down for Hudson. 5:17 to play.
You know, I've talked about it many times. Braden Marvin is, I think, the most exciting player on the Raider offense. And whether you get the ball in his hands via handoff or by a pass, I think you got to get him the ball. No.
Clock has just started. 5:09 left to play. John Yucatil gets the offense set. And they're going to give it to Diemel. Diemel gets through one tackle, is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Clock under 5 minutes now, down to 4:45. 2nd and 10 coming up for Hudson.
Be really nice to see the Raiders here grind out a couple more first downs, just put this thing away.
Raiders lead it 29-20. And they'll give it to Diemel once again up the middle. And Diemel's got about 4 or 5. He's going to set up a manageable 3rd down situation for the Raiders. 3rd and 5 coming up for Hudson. With a 9-point lead, I run it twice up the middle.
Well, I don't know.
Certainly not going to send the punt team out here and set yourself up for a possible snap over the head. Make them go to length of the field.
I don't think they're regular snappers. They're long snappers, so it wouldn't be. There's Diemel, and he looks like he's going to have the first down. Depends on where they spot it. I think he had to get to the 30, and they give it to him.
So we don't have to have that argument then.
No, we don't.
Debate is over.
Yep, the debate is over. And now, you know, and I complained all game about the way that the offense is playing. Now they come, the backs against the wall, they're grinding it out.
Clock down to 3:30 and rolling. 1st and 10 for the Hudson Raiders at the 30-yard line at Chippewa Falls. They don't need to score. Just a couple more first downs will close this one out. They'll give the Diemel once again. Diemel's going to have 4 or 5 on first down. 4 or 5 at a time will end it. Keep it going. 2nd and 6 coming up.
And I think Hudson is slowing it down here.
Give the demo again. I think he's going to have a couple. Set up 3rd and 4.
Well, here comes our debate again. I would not punt it from here, though.
Yeah, the debate is
if you
not going to happen here. You're just going to run it. Clock down to 2:23 now. It'll be down near the 2-minute mark by the time they snap the football.
Oh, we got flags. I think you're going to get movement on the Raiders.
It's going to back Hudson up 5 yards. Turn the 3rd down and 4 into about a 3rd and long 9 here. I think you still run it. You don't, If you don't convert, at least you're going to run a minute off the clock here.
Yeah, I would definitely run it here.
3rd and 9. From just inside the 30-yard line.
If you could tell, keep it.
You could tell looking to throw is going to air it out, and it will be incomplete. Nearly intercepted. That will stop the clock with 1:49 to play.
Well, and the fact that Chippewa Falls has to score twice with under 2 minutes to go, the game, for all intents and purposes, is almost over.
Well, now they know you're throwing it here. So, because even if you run the football, if you don't get it, it will stop the clock. So they're going to throw it here. That's why I like the run there on 3rd down.
Trying to get them to jump, and they have none of it.
Cardinals have not been fooled tonight.
Now the Raiders will call timeout. Tried to draw them offsides twice, didn't work, so now we'll call a timeout and decide what we're going to do. I still got to believe you're going to try to get it.
Oh, yeah. I think you leave the offense on the field, but now you're almost certainly passing. That's why I like that run on 3rd down. If you get 4 or 5 yards, you keep that clock rolling, and then you're sitting here in 4th down, and they have to think about if you're going to run or pass. But
score just in. Memorial was down 21-0 to Menominee, just tied it up. So we have 21 all. I do not know how much time is left in the game, but I got to believe it's getting towards the end.
Hey, we're only 20 minutes from Carson Park.
Well,
load up the van and head south after this one. 29-20, the Hudson Raiders with 1:49 to play. It's 4th down and 9 at the 30-yard line at Chippewa Falls. Raider offense still on the field. They're going for it here. Leading by 9. They can convert. It's over. If they can't, then Chippewa Falls will get an opportunity to try to get back in it.
Oh, we got another motion. There's only one. Marvin was in, because he came forward. Instead of coming out, he came forward. What are they trying to get back far enough so they can punt?
Now you're in a situation I think you got to think about it for sure.
Well, I think I punt here.
Ball marked now at the 35-yard line.
Try to angle it out. Kick it, maybe get a lucky bounce, have it bounce out inside the 10.
Coach Cowles will keep the offense on the field. 4th and 14. They got it to Nick Holm. He's
going to have the first down. First down. There's your ball game.
And that.
Well, I guess it's not technically won't be because Chippewa Falls still has 2 timeouts left, I believe.
They do have their timeouts, but basically the Raiders can run this down.
Yeah, I think
that was the backbreaker right there. Leading at 29-20. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line with 1:20 remaining in the clock rolling. And
now we got motion again.
Raiders
they're called timeout. I guess the one thing I'm coming away from this game with is that this team is very inconsistent. They can play so well at times. They've demonstrated here at the end of the 4th quarter. The offensive line taking over this game, getting the first downs, grinding out the ball, even overcoming penalties, and yet they played so poorly in the 2nd and 3rd quarter.
Jekyll and Hyde football team. And again, last week they played an Eau Claire Memorial team that had been putting up tons of points all season long, and the defense held them to 9. You know, it has been kind of one of those seasons where, yeah, they look like the team that went to the state semifinals the last 2 years, and then they have moments where they look like a team that's 2-2 in the conference.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm generally drinking the Raider Kool-Aid, but this year especially with the way they came out and the way they played Minnetonka, the way they played Chanhassen, basically manhandled both those teams. I thought, here we go again. But, the defense's inability to stop the pass and, for whatever reason, and the inconsistency of the offense.
You could tell, gives it to Nick Holm, and Holm is going to take it down to the 10-yard line. Well, either way, I think we can celebrate a victory here tonight in Chippewa Falls at this point.
Yeah, it looks like Chippewa Falls will call a timeout. So
called a timeout there to stop the clock at 1:09, which is, we don't have polls here. We're not worried about score differential, but you would think that, all Chippewa has to do here is not call a timeout, and I think the Raiders would just knee on this football. But decided to call timeouts, and I think if you're going to call timeouts, then we're going to keep running offensive plays. At least that's the way I look at it.
That's what I would do.
So clock stop, 1:09, 2nd and 5. Raiders lead at 29-20.
So you want the ball back? We'll give you the ball back when you'll be 16 points down.
Thanks for watching Hudson Raider Football on the River Channel. If you enjoyed the broadcast tonight, we'd really appreciate if you help support the broadcast by purchasing DVDs from us. You can get single game DVDs or buy the entire season in the package. For more information, email us at info@riverchannel.org, or you can give us a call, 715-386-0115. And they'll give it to Holm around the right side. Holm battling his way down to the 1-yard line. And let's see what Chippewa Falls does this time. They've stopped the clock.
Holm on the goal tackle by Jaquish, and maybe right.
You can take a knee, and with 37 seconds in the clock running, that should do it. I don't think they have to snap it again.
They're standing around like they're going to have to do it one more time maybe. But this is going to end it.
The crowd is filing out. And that'll do it. Last kneel down.
The Hudson Raiders, for the first time this season, will have a winning record in the conference. 3-2 now in the conference after a victory tonight in Chippewa Falls. They're one conference victory away from clinching themselves a postseason spot. So the Raiders, the big win here tonight at Doray Field, 29-20 over Chippewa Falls. And it looked like one of those games that, hey, you're playing the Chippewa Falls team that's really down. You should come in here and crush them. But this Chippewa Falls Cardinals team, they may not have a great record, but they have played some pretty tough games and played some close games all season, and you knew they were going to give them everything they got. Well,
this is a proud program. Coach has been here for a long time. He's developed the program. This is an unusual spot for them to be in, but they came out here, played with a lot of heart, and they had a shot at this game, and it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But in the end, the Raiders pull it off and get a victory and win their first road game, which is nice. And now one more win, and we're in the playoffs, and then anything can happen.
So the Hudson Raiders win it tonight, 29-20 at Doray Field in Chippewa Falls. It's a 29-20 victory, 3-2 in the conference, one more victory away from a playoff spot. So congrats to Coach Cowles and the Hudson Raiders. For Joel Eby, I'm Chris Larson. Thanks for watching tonight. We really appreciate it, and we will see you next week.